Hello everyone, this is Ije, and today I'll be teaching home economics for grade 5, and we'll be talking about common cooking methods. Common cooking methods in home economics for grade 5. Before you talk about the various cooking methods that we have, you are supposed to first of all ask yourself, what is cooking? Most of us cook in our various houses. So have you wondered the definition of cooking or the meaning of cooking? Going to our lesson, what is cooking? Cooking is the practice or skill of preparing food by combining, mixing, and heating ingredients. Cooking is the practice or skill that involves combining, mixing, and heating ingredients. Like the definition simply said, you first of all have to bring food, you combine various kinds of food, you mix them, and even the ingredients, that's your spices, you're going to mix them, then put them under a heat. That is what cooking. So cooking is either a skill or a practice. Practice is something that you do often. Now we are going to talk about the reasons we cook. There are so many reasons we cook. Before we talk about it, I want to tell you that there are some food that we can eat without cooking. There are some foods that we can eat without cooking them. Now, what are the reasons? What is the major reason why we cook some food? Foods are cooked so that they can digest easily. For example, food like rice. You can't just get your rice from the market and start swallowing them, or your potato and start chewing them raw. They won't digest. In fact, it might even cause harm in your stomach. So we cook food so that they can digest easily. Some food must be cooked so that they will not cause harm in our stomach. Yeah. Like I just said in the first one, some food, when we cook them, is so that they don't cause harm. You don't just get your meat from the market and start eating it like that. It will definitely cause harm in your stomach because there are some worms that the meat or the fish have with them. If you don't cook it, those worms will not be killed, even though you use all the whole vinegar and all the whole lime to wash them, or salt. So we cook food so that they don't cause harm to us. We also cook them so that they can digest easily. Meat and fish are cooked to remove blood and also to make them soft to eat. When you buy fish or meat from the market, they usually have blood in them. So by the time, even though you wash them 1,000 times, those bloods will not be removed unless they are cooked. So I know that some of us must have done one or silly things when your mom is cooking and you go to the pot to steal the meat, not knowing that the meat is not properly cooked. If you open it, you see that you still see some blood in them. So if the meat is not also properly cooked, there will still be blood. So we cook to remove blood from the meat, and we cook to remove also blood from the fish. When foods are cooked, it makes it to taste and smell good. Yes, like your noodles. Some of us, I've seen a lot of you go to the shops buying noodles, eating them like that. No, it's very bad. Now, bring that noodle you bought from the market and put them in a pot and start cooking. You will discover that the aroma that the food gets is different from the one when you're eating it raw. So when you cook food, it makes it to taste good, it makes it to smell good. So cooking makes food to taste good and makes it to smell good. Also, cooking makes food to look attractive. For example, you buy your rice, your vegetables in the market. During our cooking practical, you'll see when we displayed all those ingredients in the market, from the market on our table. They were not looking inviting to eat. But immediately we started mixing them, combining those ingredients and putting them under heat. You saw that at the end of the whole practical, the food became very attractive and you feel like eating them. So cooking makes food to look attractive. Now, what are the common cooking methods? There are so many cooking methods, but today we are going to talk about only 4 cooking methods. The first one I'm going to talk about today is boiling. Boiling is cooking food in a pot of water. Boiling is what? Cooking food in a pot of water. How? You bring your pot, you pour water in it, put whatever food you want to cook. Then you put it inside the same water and now place it on a fire. That is boiling method. Example of food that can be cooked with this method is your potatoes, your rice, your meat. You can also put your pot on the fire, pour water and allow it to boil for after some time before putting the food you want to cook. So boiling method is simply cooking food inside a pot of fire and putting it on a heat. The second cooking method I want to talk about today is steaming. In this method, moisture is used to cook your food. In steaming method, we use moisture to cook your food. I'm going to show you some diagrams at the end of the lesson to explain better. In steaming we use 2 pots. Now, the first pot you pour water and place on the fire. When the water starts boiling, you put another pot that has holes in it. Then you place something else on it to ensure that water from the other pot does not enter the pot that has hole. Now, by doing this, the food you are cooking, then you place your food inside the second pot. Now, by doing this, the food you are cooking will not have contact with the water in the first pot. The food is only cooked by the heat that comes from this pot that has water. So this is what steaming method. We can cook fish, especially your catfish, with this method. Another method is stewing. This is the method of cooking food in a light sauce. Now, during the cooking practical, we cooked a food called jollof rice. And in that practical, we first of all made our sauce. We used fried oil, fried onion, and tomato paste. After frying them, we now put our food in it. You can cook fish with stewing method. You can cook meat with stewing method. You can cook potatoes even with stewing method. You can even cook your rice with stewing method. First of all, you are going to make your sauce. Like I told you, frying your oil, your spices, onion, ginger, garlic, and other spice. After frying them, you now pour either your fish that you want to cook with stewing, or you pour your potato, or you put your rice. Then another method of cooking, the last method of cooking that we're talking about today is frying method. This is the simplest of all the methods, like your boiling. Frying method is a method of cooking food in hot oil. Frying method is a method of cooking food with hot oil. You put your dry pot. This time around, you don't put anything in the pot. You allow the pot to dry from water. Once the pot is dry, you pour your oil. Then fry whatever you want to fry. Once the oil is hot, put whatever you want to fry. Your meat, you can fry your meat in this method. You can cook potatoes with this method. You can cook even fish with this method just by frying them. So I'm going to use diagram to explain better about the various methods of cooking. Okay, this is frying method. As you can see, we have vegetable inside that pot, we have meat, and we have some tomatoes. Now, this person here is frying the meat. As you can see, there's heat under the pan. So just a little oil and you start frying your meat. So this is an example of frying method. Not only meat, I told you, you can even fry your potato with this method. You can fry your fish with this method. So this is an example of frying method. And this is stewing. This is an example of stewing method. Looking at it, this is fish. If you look at this picture very well, you will see that there is stew in this. Oil is here, there's oil inside this, there's tomatoes, and there are different ingredients in that. After they must have finished frying the sauce, remember I told you that stewing method is what? A method by which food is cooked in a light sauce. Like we did even in the practical. Now this, in the practical we cooked rice with that sauce. But this one, fish is being cooked in this sauce. After you must have finished making your sauce with your oil, tomatoes, chili or pepper, and other ingredients, then you can now put your fish and start stewing. This is the example of stewing method. And this is steaming, like I told you. If you look deep down, you will see that this pot is even up to 3. Look at the ones that have hole inside. Then they place the last smaller pot that doesn't have anything inside it. So that now the last pot inside has water in it. The water is placed directly on the heat. Once the water starts boiling, the heat will come through this pot that has hole and start steaming this fish. Remember I told you that first of all you are going to place a pot that has water on fire. Allow the water to start boiling before you place another pot that has holes in it, to prevent the food from having a contact with the water. We don't want to cook the food with the water. We want to cook it with the heat that comes from the water. That is what we call it steaming. The food does not have any business with the water. You just want to cook it. It will only be cooked with the heat from the water. So when you place the second pot, then you place the last one, so that even though little particles of water comes out from this pot, it will not touch the pot. It will not touch the food in the last pot. So this example of steaming method, and as you can see here, is fish that is being cooked with this method. You can also cook, there are so many food that you can cook. You can also cook beans paste with this method. And these are what? Examples of all the cooking method. Remember the last one is boiling. Just place a pot of food that has water in it, and then put the food you want to cook. That's the different examples of cooking method. I know that you understood the lesson. And if you want to ask further questions, you can come to school. And I know if you are not here online with me, please go to our YouTube channel, Motorstolic International School, subscribe, watch the lesson, and if there is any question, please don't forget to ask. Either you can ask under the comment, or you can come to school and ask. Thank you very much, and God bless you. Stay safe.